Oh, and Starfish is playing random. Okay, I see you. We don't often see random players in 2v2, I'll be honest, at least at the pro level here. So I'm curious to see what his level is at with what he lands on. As spawning in the top right hand corner here of Yellow Jackets, we have our red team. We have our Zerg and Protoss duo. We have DIMAGA and Starfish. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have, I guess, a mirror matchup here. We have a Zerg and Protoss duo as well. We have Jumy and YoungYakov. Here we go. Sometimes known as Old Yakov. Smooch. Still young at heart. As we are getting into a mirror matchup here instead. As again, typically Protoss or just any kind of like combination of players or different races here are typically better than mirrored races, so we should be seeing an interesting back and forth here. Curious to see how they approach this, how aggressive they're going to be. Likewise, I'm curious to see what Starfish brings to the table as well. I'm curious. But now we do have an earlier gas setup here out of DIMAGA. Interesting. Going for the pool gas into a hatchery. So delayed expansion out of DIMAGA. Meanwhile, we do have a more standard hatch gas pool out of YoungYakov. So Yakov going for standard opener. I do actually really like this crisscross setup here. We spoke about this during the Lambo Kellezer games last month in the previous month's 2v2 circuit, 2v2 event, I should say, where the player that's closest here to the opponent is the most vulnerable player, right? They're the most exposed, I should say. So whenever there's aggression, whenever there's harassment, there's a higher chance that whoever's here gets harassed the most if they expand in a linear fashion. So if Yakov were to expand here at the natural, then he'd be the one being harassed in the main base and the natural, like more often than not. So here we kind of like crisscross our expansions instead, and that does kind of like share the load, I should say, where now Jumy's natural is more exposed, Yakov's natural is more defended, and then Yakov's main is more exposed, and Jumy's natural main is less more defended, I should say. So they're kind of like offsetting kind of like their disadvantages here. Instead of having one player that's just exposed more than the other, and then they just get abused for it. Kellezer and Lambo, they were doing the same. It's cool to see. Behind this early Evo chamber at a YoungYakov, this should be for +1 melee. Very fast +1 melee. Meanwhile, we spoke about the early gas, early link speed, early Baneling nest. DIMAGA going into link bane aggression early on. Let's go. He's going to commit. He's going to double down as he is not droning. Yeah, they're going for the all-in. Again, no drones, no saturation at the natural. It's all or nothing for DIMAGA. Likewise, Starfish, he does have a 2-gate setup for the time being. No proxy, so his reinforcements are going to be quite limited here from Starfish. Does zone away some of those overlords. The all-in is amassing. Back at him, we have the event. We do have a shield battery on the way for Jumy. Likewise, YoungYakov passing up his own Zerglings, and he'll have that eventual +1 lead, that +1 advantage. That's going to be hit later. Far, far too late to defend against the all-in, as we're banking up more Zerglings. We have 3 more gates on the way. It's going to be, I believe, a 5-gate setup. And DIMAGA, he's still backing up. I feel like we gotta go. We gotta go soon. The Lings are banking. Yakov and Jumy, they're currently in the dark. They're saturating their bases. But because of the early +1 melee here, YoungYakov, he is massing up Zerglings. He's massing up Lings. Banelings are morphing in the center. We have 4 Banelings here for DIMAGA. Likewise, Yakov now getting into double upgrades. Jesus. Yo, can we lure him in? Up! Oh, not quite. Yeah, Yakov, he does react, he does respond, he does pull away. He spots the Banelings, he knows. And here comes the all-in. How many do we have? 48. 48 Zerglings. We have 10 Stalkers. Yeah, we gotta go. The Stalkers are a little bit lagging behind, but we gotta send it. Once again, DIMAGA and Starfish, they're on a timer. They gotta go at the same time. YoungYakov going for a link counterattack. Try to draw away reinforcements. It's gonna be a tough hold. Stasis traps on the way. Overlook goes down. Oracle bust. It does pop off in the main. Lings, they do hit the natural. There's nothing to kill. There's nothing here. They get 2 drones. 2 drones go down. Nice stasis. Stasis goes up. DIMAGA completely all in on one base. Is all in. Nice target firing on the shield batteries. Banelings, they do zone away the Lings. Ooh, we do miss a Baneling connection there, though. And one connection is missed. And Jumy, he's being dealt with. And YoungYakov, instead of engaging, I mean, he cannot. He's just going for a massive counterattack instead. A good use of these Zerglings, bearing in mind that he just could not engage with the Banelings. Could not engage. Probes are going down. Banelings, oh, they opt not to go in. Again, very disciplined here from DIMAGA. From here, can head into the natural. Queens are on their own. Stalkers, they break down that front door. Starfish pushing forward. At the same time, Lings, they have been catching Stalkers. They'll be catching Stalkers. The natural base goes down. DIMAGA, he has nothing. Again, he's just all in. Up. Oh my god, Banelings to deal with. Yeah, very nice target firing here from Starfish. You know, the Banelings are waddling in. Up. Oh, we get one. Baneling gets baited out. Another disconnection. Another disconnection here. And again, you can see that Starfish is also running out of Stalkers here, coming for reinforcements. 4 more Stalkers moving in. Going for the natural. Yakov once again goes for a counterattack. This time should be going for the natural base of the Protoss. Yeah, it does go for it. Does go for the mineral line. These Stalkers have been very efficient, catching out so many Zerglings. Boys are pulled away, reinforces back at home. Starfish defends. Takes down both naturals, knocking out both YoungYakov and Jumy onto one base. Okay, they get knocked down to one base. Likewise, they should knock down this expansion as well. I believe they are aware. Yeah, they are. Ooh, stasis goes off. Stasis does go up. You can see some pings here. They're going for the expansion. Starfish does rotate. And we're in a really weird situation here where both Yakov and Jumy are stuck on a one-base economy with excess probes. Meanwhile, so is DIMAGA. The only player with 2 bases here is Starfish. The only player. Takes out all the expansions. Now from here, I feel like we should just retreat. Maybe clean up this army, then get the hell out of here. Starfish rotating over. Does rotate. Delays the expansion. From here, pulls away. Lings, they once again try to catch reinforcements. They get 1, they get 2 Stalkers. 3, of course, there's no blink. Wait, no. Yeah, there's no blink. True. Nice catch. Nice catch on the Stalkers. Oracle dives into the main. Right now, focusing on Starfish is the correct choice. They gotta slow him down. And again, Starfish is the only player here with an economy. It's on 2 bases, building up more Stalkers. Everyone else is struggling. Everyone else in a rough position. Now, what I will say is that both Jumy and YoungYakov, they did a great job of preserving their drones. Like, they preserved so many workers. So they can long distance mine. DT has arrived. Ooh, 0 detection. No shot. The observer, okay, the observer's on the way. Observer's on the way to the main. Workers are going down. We have a Dark Templar in each base. Going for DIMAGA. I feel like they should have gone for, send once at least into the natural base of Starfish at least, but there we go. Natural goes down. They're just bullying DIMAGA, Papi. Ay. They're bullying him. Just wants to expand. And at this one, it's almost turning into a 1v2. Right, where we have Jumy and YoungYakov up against Starfish, at least for the near future, at least until DIMAGA is able to resaturate his bases. I mean, at least DIMAGA does have these Banelings, and honestly, they play a really crucial role. They ensure that the Stalkers do not get surrounded. Like, these Stalkers are so vulnerable to mass Zerglings. But the Banelings are here to protect. They are here to zone. So Yakov looking for a way in. Oh, again, he's running into banelings. Here has to pull away. Doesn't get much done. Starfish claiming a third base. Meanwhile, DIMAGA double expanding. Likewise, so is Jumy. So is Yakov. Yeah, Jumy and Yakov, they both double expand. They're both building back up. Yakov has got his 1-1 upgrades. Do you see DIMAGA catching up on 1-1 upgrades as well? It's getting there. Now, can Starfish carry? Can he do it? Can he pull it off? I say that Zombies becoming more complex. At this point, it would be a mistake to push into this. There's 5 stasis traps. We have a field of stasis traps. And Starfish, he cannot fight on his own. Not like this. Not anymore. Like, Jumy has a comparable army. Jumy, he can hold his own. Amir shuts down the Banelings. Speaking of, it does get one more Baneling. And without Banelings to defend, now these Zerglings, they become more effective. They can engage. That's Baneling action. Baneling goes off. Yeah, better concave here for Jumy. Starfish should not be pushing into this. Oh god, he's trying to, but again, stage traps are behind this as well. And shield batteries. Lings are coming from behind. It's going to be a one-way trip, and he's going to get surrounded. Yeah, he's going to lose the advantage, lose the army. This is not the fight to take. Not on your own. Bailey's they will not connect. Jumy does target fire. Very nice control of the teamwork. Jumy, he protects. And YoungYakov will chase down those stalkers. And again, it wasn't a bad start here for DIMAGA and Starfish, but they just couldn't quite recover. And on the aftermath, especially DIMAGA. Likewise, Starfish on his own couldn't quite build up. Oh, Fungal goes up, locks down the army. Very nice Fungals. Just waiting up for more Lings. Yeah, more Lings are coming in to reinforce. And Yakov and Jumy, they have done it. They've broken through. Lings, they peel off towards the expansion, towards the third. Army moves in. This one is just a numbers game here. Again, DIMAGA couldn't quite recover, and Starfish took just a really, really rough fight. Really rough fight across the map. Not like this. Jumy, he rotates, catch out the stalkers. We have some reinforcements on the way. Again, with defender's advantage, together, DIMAGA and Starfish, they can hold the line a little bit longer here. They can hold on. Meanwhile, just mass expanding. Which Jumy double expanding. Yakov getting another base as well. Eventually, I'm sure Yakov will tech up in some way. I'm sure. Barely denied in time. Bailey gets denied. Yakov does surround. At the same time, the Brutal Slimies are engaging. Brutal Stasis once again. The MVP Stasis traps. They shut down Starfish. With that, Jumy pushing in, finally breaks the expansion. GG gets called. And Jumy and Yakov, they take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Jumy and Yakov. I say a solid game. It was pretty tense. It was pretty tense. It was pretty close. Initially, we saw success when it came to the all-in of DIMAGA and Starfish. They contained their opponents on one base, but a shout out to Yakov. He was constantly going for counterattacks and run-bys, disengaging from the main fights and harassing across the map instead, catching out stalkers, denying bases. If you remember, he was the one that killed the natural base of DIMAGA as well, which did cripple him, which did force him on one base for a very, very long time. So it was just a really awkward game state there for Starfish especially, and alas, even though he was able to hold his own, he wasn't quite able to prop up his partner, and likewise did take a really rough fight across the map. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. We're going to be loading into Emerald City, a map that's been in the 2v2 map pool for like 10 years. It's been around for a long time, for a long time. And here we go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Emerald City, we have our red team. Oh, of course, we have a red team. We have our red Zerg. We have our random player, this time landing on not Protoss, but landing on Terran. It is DIMAGA and Starfish. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have we have the blue team. We have the Protoss and Zerg duo. We have Jumy and YoungYakov. Here we go, and again, welcome one and all to Emerald City. Emerald City has been around for a very, very long time. Is I would say a shorter rush distance map in the map pool, but does have a shared main. Likewise, has a shared natural base as well. There are a couple of different entry points here into the natural, here on the left and in the center as well. So there are ways to engage. There are ways to move in. There are ways here to try to pull apart your opponents, but for the most part, I mean, they're close enough. Like, this is a pretty secure location here on 2 bases. When it comes to the third bases, you're a little bit more spread out. So there's, of course, the goal base here towards the center as well, which is also available here, especially if you do have map control. But it's a map that's been played out quite a bit. It's been around for a long time. Long time. Oh. Double gas opener here out of Starfish. Interesting. Going for a delayed TC, faster factory out of our Terran player. Something that I was not quite expecting. Meanwhile, once again, early gas. So late hatchery here from DIMAGA gas pool. This looks like the same build we saw last game. Oh, never mind. The opener is the same, but this time he pulls out of gas, which means this time we're not rushing into a Baneling nest. Remember, last game there were only 2 drones at the natural, went for a massive Ling Bane all-in with a Ling flood with an early nest. This time, no extra gas. Early Ling speed, true, but no Banelings this time. So basically, this time it's less committed, less aggressive, and the blue team, they see how late the expansion is, but they don't know how committed this really is, or how uncommitted this is. So inclement information here for Yakov and Jumy. They're trying to piece together what's going on. Jumy, he does stay in gas, so he's going into Ling speed, into Banelings himself. So Ling Bane out of Jumy, just fast Ling speed here from DIMAGA. We have the Stargate on the way from Jumy as well, opening up Oracle. And a safety spine crawler. Again, they saw how late the expansion was. So safety spine here from Yakov. Lings are massing Hellions as well. And DIMAGA, do you see what I see? No drones. So he's not going for a Bane bust, but he's going for a Ling flood. So just straight up Ling flood here from DIMAGA. And again, remember, the opposing team already saw how late the hatchery was, so they're already setting up defensively. We have a shield battery, we have a spine cooler, we have a nice sim city here with the queens for the most part. Meanwhile, with the double gas opener, faster Hellion production into second factory into mech. So mass Hellion Ling here from the red team. And the queens are ready. Lings, they do diamonds over the shield battery. First shield battery is going to go down. Spine cooler does reposition. Jumy has to pull the voice. He's in trouble here. He's in trouble. Queen gets surrounded. Ooh, backup queen has the... Oh no, he's blocking the wall. He's blocking. Move the queen. Yeah, YoungYakov, he cannot break out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew. Does move the queen aside. The queen was too thick. But they hold. They do hold nonetheless. Oracle moves out. Oh my god. Very nice mine shots. Yo, the setup there from Starfish. Very nicely done. Shuts out the Oracle. Behind this, DIMAGA is finally droning. Now he's droning, now he's saturating. We're macroing up out of this. And this time, DIMAGA does not lose his natural. As that settles, what do they really achieve here? They kill 2 probes. They kill 2 probes, they kill the Oracle, they kill the Queen, no major damage. I would say this is a stronger defense here from the blue team as they're building up on 2 bases. You can see here just how low the economy is for our Terran player. Starfish down on 5 SCVs at the natural. Like, again, it shows how late the natural was and how delayed saturation was as well, or is. Third TC's on the way. So Starfish is going to be a while here for him to really build up. DIMAGA just joining up as much as he can. Just joining up. So now we're calming down. We have some hidden tech here from Jumy, going for a Dark Shrine and building up on 2 bases. Likewise, Yakov also securing his own 3rd base as well. The mech is on the way from Starfish, but again, the economy is still lackluster. Like, that's what's really slowing Starfish down, is his economy. As Jumy even going for a ninja base. Oh my god. Let's go. Ninja base is on the way. From here, both players are just calming down. They're backing off. We're building up. Do you see the red team vying for map control? At the same time, Ling Run By is going to be attempted, but there's plenty of Hellions in position. Plenty of Cyclones, plenty of army. Yeah. I feel like Zerg is a pretty bad race for team games. You can't expand creep as much as you need to, and also it's hard to expand. Kind of. I think the weakest thing about Zerg in team games is their inability to be aggressive and to harass. Ling harass is very, very limited here, just because of Hellions for Terran, just because of Oracles for Protoss. So I will say that the early game for some Zerg teams is a little bit weaker compared to Terran and Protoss duos, which can be more active, which can be more aggressive early on. I will say that when it comes to getting into the mid to late game, we have seen, if you've been watching GG Machine, like Shameless and GG Machine, they're one of the more successful Zerg teams out there, like Protoss Zerg teams, in 2v2, and what GG Machine does, he goes for a really Ling heavy style and he rushes into lurkers, and if he can get into like lurker tech like at a pretty decent early time, like he can actually support his teammate quite well. So I've personally really liked how Shameless and GG Machine approach things whenever they play. But for sure, like I would say Zerg brings a little bit less to the table, especially early on, when it comes to like supporting your teammates and providing them like more utility. So I'm moving in. From here to see YoungYakov coming for a counterattack. DIMAGA, we're just committing across. Oh, we're just setting it. Tanks are pushing in. Starfish, DIMAGA, they do commit. Likewise, Jumy's on his own. Tank low is going to be going off. Stalkers have to back off. At the same time, we do catch reinforcements. Yakov catching out roaches, catching out tanks. At the same time, Starfish, DIMAGA, they're moving in. They take that low-gun expansion, but remember, Jumy has a ninja base. Like, this base doesn't really matter. Yeah, it does not matter. Nice run by here with the roaches. They bust into the bases. Yeah, Starfish's economy was already lacking to begin with. Does not have a planetary, and this mineral line is exposed. Yeah, Yakov, very nice run by here. Stalkers as well. Yeah, they just ignore the army. Like Jumy and Yakov, they ignore the army. They just go for a counterattack instead. They catch out roaches. They get a mineral line. SCVs are going down, and this army needs to push forward. We need to gain ground here. Yeah, DIMAGA and Starfish throwing a timer. Ooh, files are connecting. Again, tanks are slowly pushing forward, but it's taking too long. Yeah, taking far too long here. Like those roaches, they do try to come in from. Oh god. Never mind. They try to come in from behind. Roaches are cleaned up. DIMAGA and Starfish, they push forward. in. Tank goes down. Tank does fall. And we're slowly moving forward here, getting ourselves on production. Robots are exposed. Novas are connected. Oh my god. Yeah, Novas are connecting. Brutal connections. Oh my god. Brutal connections here on the Roaches. Roaches, they're very softened up. Worker production underway. The Novas have been on point for the most part. Some of them do graze the army. At the same time, once again, another Zealot run by. Roaches, they push into the mineral line. Yakov here to zone away. Oh. The combo! Fungal and Nova, let's go! Dulce and the Fungal, Dulce and the Nova. Unable to split. Oof. Shots are going off. And DIMAGA is running out of Roaches. Likewise, only 2 tanks left. Here come the abductions. Tanks are going to be going down. It gets 1. And with that, they hold. Jumy YoungYakov, they hold on. Remember, Jumy, he's freely mining on 3 bases. He had the ninja base earlier. He's fine. DT still harassing. Still just trying to keep up. Still a lot of tanks left over. But again, the red team, they couldn't reinforce. They were stuck at home because of the counterattacks. And they're being cleaned up. Being cleaned up. Yakov has a terrifying army to work with as well. He's got his spellcasters. He had his spellcasters. Looks like the Vipers went down. DIMAGA and Starfish. Here comes the second wave. As they move out, Yakov, oops, getting ready for a counterattack. Force around. Oh, army's moving in. Oh, the Infested, they rally forward. They land 1 Fungal. Once again, nice connection. 1 Fungal does land. Roaches, they come in from behind. They catch some SCVs. That is a brutal tank line. And remember, the no more Vipers. Oh, nice catch. Mineral line goes down. Roaches, they hit the 3rd base here of DIMAGA. Expansion will fall. Oh. Using abductions. Nice flying clouds. Yeah, the Viper count here is high. We have, what, 5, 6 Vipers? And with that, GG gets called. Yeah, they just run out of steam here. And Jumy and YoungYakov, they will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, very nice counterattacks out of, I want to say specifically YoungYakov. I mean, Jumy was also helping. He was also warping in, also making Zealots. But again, so crucial that Jumy had that ninja base. Because of that expansion, even though he lost the low ground base himself, he actually had a superior economy than his opponents. You know, the other 2 were on 2 or really 2.5 bases when it came to mining. So Jumy, he had a booming economy, which means he could afford his robos, he could afford his disruptors, and he could afford to keep going and keep maintaining himself and supporting Yakov. Likewise, Yakov with the non-stop run-bys made sure that they could not reinforce. And GG, well played. Eventually, they cleaned up the tanks, they cleaned up the Roach army, and the reinforcements, they were stuck at home. They were stuck at home. As we saw, the red team was pretty all in. DIMAGA and Starfish, they were pretty all in. They could not break through. GG. With that, Jumy and YoungYakov, they advance on forward into the next round. Let's go. Let us go. They do advance on, and up next we do have the semi-finals of this tournament. Jumy and YoungYakov, they move on to face off against Cristiano and Arrowfire. Now, I'll be honest, I actually haven't seen too many Protoss duos before. Typically in this, I mean, double Terran, double Protoss, double Zerg, they're quite rare. They're quite rare in 2v2, and I'm curious to see how they work out together. Again, if you know anything about 2v2, Cristiano, he often doesn't play. He's often not one to compete in 2v2, so I was really curious to see what kind of partner he would have. Likewise, Arrowfire, he also doesn't often compete either. When it comes to the regulars in these events, everyone else here, you know, they've played in plenty of uThermal tournaments before, but I believe this is a first-time pairing between Cristiano and Arrowfire. I don't know how they're going to work together. I don't know how well their like teamwork is. I don't know how often they play together. I don't think they do, to be honest. I think this is like a first time pairing for them, and we'll see how they perform together. I'm curious.